All right, everyone, before we get started, go ahead and share this out with all the social media platforms so we can get people on here so that y'all can be made aware with what we are expecting for tomorrow. While you're doing that, go ahead and drop your questions into the chat box, and I will see if I can get through this slideshow and answer all of them. And then once we do that, if you have any other questions, I will definitely get to that. But, make sure I have all my chat up and ready. All right, let's just go ahead and get started. I do know it is 9 o'clock, and I know it's kind of late. Sorry, I pushed it from the typical 8 o'clock because I wanted to have the 00Z model from her that run all the way through so I can fully show you what that model does, because it does go from 8 to 9. So when I did the 9 or the 8 o'clock, it's halfway through. It's not where I wanted to be able to show you the full thing. But let's go ahead and jump on. And so once again, I do understand we another severe weather event. I know it's getting tiring, but that is this time of year. It's we're almost through it. We're almost to summer, and before you know it, we'll be complaining with our 90 degrees weather. But the Storm Prediction Center does have almost all of Tennessee in a enhanced risk, which is a level 3 out of 5. And with how big the enhanced, I I want to say I'm about 40% certain they might do a moderate risk, and if they do, we might be in it. It all depends. If they do, it'll be this little section right here, and we might be on the very edge of it. But once again, that still doesn't really do much with the impacts. All three major severe weather impacts are probably going to happen. And speaking of those impacts, we're going to have large hail, tornadoes are possible, and most likely damaging winds. I know the timing right here says Tuesday afternoon, evening. That is for the main event. And I will show you all in a little bit with timing and all. There's several different rounds that are going to happen: morning, mid afternoon, and then the main event. And how each of them can dictate what the main event does. Kind of like what happened a couple days ago. We had that storm come in the morning, and the afternoon was the main event, and the main event didn't perform. So, could that be the option? Maybe. But once again, I like having this slide here because it kind of goes into a little bit more detail what each level stands for. So we are in the enhanced risk, which the Storm Prediction Center and the National Weather Service have a high confidence that there will be several storms with containing damaging winds, severe hail, and or tornadoes. And several of these storms could be significant. So I know y'all always see this slide, but for those that don't see it, this kind of goes into very much detail what each level is. Once again, I actually really did not need this because for once, it's not going to be really an overnight event. It's going to be in and out. These storms are going to be moving pretty fast. So it will, I'm saying the latest, it'll be in and out. I'm going to say 10 p.m. will probably be the latest. Once again, I want y'all to know the difference between what a watch is and what a warning is. When we have a thunderstorm watch or a tornado watch, which I guarantee you we probably will have a tornado watch tomorrow. That means the ingredients are ready. Get your safe place ready. Be ready to act. Just be prepared. But when we issue a warning, that means take action. That means if it's a thunderstorm warning, that means there's winds above 50 miles per hour happening. Or if it's a tornado warning, it means there's a funnel cloud or a tornado on the ground. Here is another thing is apps to download. The huge main thing about tomorrow is the National Weather Service in Nashville is going through, actually, I believe it's Nashville, I believe Huntsville's office, and several of the other ones around are having an upgrade to their computer programs, which will be for our benefit much later. And I know several people have been talking about the NOAA weather radio is going to be down. So do not rely on the radio tomorrow. I know most of y'all do, but this is the one time. I know everyone's been upset with this war. Like, why are they doing this upgrades? Why are they doing it now? This was out of their control. It's something you can't reschedule just because it's set in stone and has to happen. So, because of that, our Nashville office has 3 backup offices that are scattered all over. And they all will be pitching in to help Nashville's office. So, technically, tomorrow you'll be having multiple offices working for your benefit in Middle Tennessee. They'll be issuing warnings. You will have over 30 plus eyes on the radar and weather. So you'll be safe. So once again, I know the warning that popped up earlier today, some people said that their apps that they rely on didn't pop up. And because of that, I would say here are the apps to download, but I'm going to ask in the chat with the National Weather Service later on to see if the radio is the only thing that's going to be affected, which I thought they said earlier it was going to be the only thing affected, but because of that, I did put a social media post for a website where it's called Code Red, and I forgot to put this on the slide. I need to fix that. And you can either be a guest or you can log in with an account, and you just put your phone number in, your email, and which alerts you want. Because you can do this weather alerts, or you can do like traffic alerts and roads that are flooded, etc. And they will call you and text you when a warning is issued. Here, once again, I believe these will not be infected as well. The weather emergency. This is for the iPhone. I don't think this will be affected. I'm going to have to circle on that. But once again, these are the instructions of how to turn them on, because these will make your phone ring, probably scare living daylights out of you. I know every time mine does it. This will only happen if there is a catastrophic severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning. So that's the only, and I believe the highest flood warning too will be the only ones that will set off your phone. Once again, part of the T Spotter program. I know y'all probably tired of hearing about this. Here's all of us. This is really going to be your big go to tomorrow with the weather radio being off. So make sure to follow the Nashville guys, Robertson, because whatever they get will basically come into Sumner as well. All right, I am going to close out of here, and I'm going to show y'all real quick from the newest app, WeatherWise, on the threats. I know most of the time I put this on the slideshow, but I really love how I can zoom in and show you all what threats they're going to be. So this is the regular one. So this is the enhance. So when we drop down to tornado, and I know someone asked if the picture was the hatchet area. This is where we would be in the hatchet area. And I believe the tornado threat is the only that we are in the hatchet area. So you can just click where Sumner is, and we have a 10% chance of a tornado risk and a 10% of a significant tornado, which would be an EF2 or greater. I know that probably will raise some people's storm anxiety, but think of it as 90% not going to happen. And of course, I always tend to forget this could be 25 miles of a certain point, which technically, if you're in Sumner, if you do like a radius of 25 miles, that's pretty much, which technically all Sumner is covered. And I clicked the wrong, there we go. Sumner's all covered. Now we are going to drop to wind. And we have this bright pink area, which is a 45% chance of damaging winds. So that's probably what I really think is going to be the main threat tomorrow. Typically, damaging wind and hail are our main threats. This, I believe, is damaging wind and tornado, which are the top two. Hail, I don't see as much. But we actually don't have a hatchet area for wind, but that could change because as I'm going to zoom out and show you, they really are saying tornado threat would be around here. And I'll show y'all why when we go through the model and go hour by hour. Let me swap over to hail threat because hail threat's only at 15% of hail, which will be around 1 inch, if that. So, once again, I really think it's going to be damaging winds, but tornado threat is higher than it was. I know it's still the same 10, and actually I believe earlier, a couple days ago, we had a 15%. So, but this one I'm more concerned with tornadoes than I was before. So we are going to drop over to our model real quick, and I will show you all, since the 00Z has finally fully downloaded, I can show you hour by hour what timing was, because timing is the trickiest part right now with what's going on. I know several of you are like, oh, is there going to be a time graphic? I don't know if the National Weather Service is going to do that or not. If we do get one, it'll be early in the morning. So I'm going to go through, here's midnight. So what we are really looking for in the morning, which will be our first round, is what's happening in Arkansas, Missouri right now. So that marches in, and it looks basically just like a straight line wind line, which they're not really concerned. Yes, this line right here can carry damaging wind, hail threat, maybe a spin up tornado. That's not what they're really concerned with this line. And it looks like it's going to be knocking on Sumner's door. I'm going to say that's 10 a.m. Up here is where you can see the timing. So 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. So I would say between 10 and 11 is when we're going to get some, see how the pinks are right there? I really think we could get some trees down, power lines down, round with this round. Once that round is gone, we might have some little showers, maybe regular storms, nothing too serious. This is 1 p.m. Afterwards, there's 2, 3 p.m. So that round kind of moves out by 3. And then you see over here is another round. This is actually supposed to be the main line that will come through later on. But I want y'all to watch what forms in between. So there's the main line. But see these little blimps? But watch when it hits at 6 p.m. see how they have that kidney bean kind of shape? That is what we're really going to have to mainly watch, because right here is the main event right here. And this, once again, is 6 p.m. Is these little storms that pop up ahead of the line. That's what we're really, as I said before, that's what we're going to really need to watch. And then I'm going to go through, there's 7 p.m., 8 p.m. out of here. So I really think if they slow down, 9 or 10 will be the very latest. So it won't really be an overnight event. It's going to be mainly in the heating of the atmosphere. So let me go back real quick and tell you a few things. I know I posted several things on social media about what we're looking at, what the scenarios are. The scenarios are, once again, how much will this first round, I'm going to zoom in real quick, how much will this first round impact the atmosphere? I mean, before, and most of the time, what we see is it impacts it a lot, where the first round is the one that packs the punch, and then the main event that's supposed to pack the punch is lesser. So that's one scenario that can happen. But and if these little storms right here keep holding on and keep going and keep going, because you see it ends at 3, and then there's this big gap at 4 and 5, and then you see those storms that pop up ahead that are the ones that we're going to have to watch for. Those will be the one with the main tornado threats at 6. So will our atmosphere be able to heat back up after these storms right here? That's the big $1,000,000 question. So, all right. A few things too is because our office is going to have the backups helping, is these storms are going to be moving very quick. So warnings are going to be very large and cover several counties. So they're going to be 30 minutes, an hour ahead of what we're typical used to. And because some of the warnings are going to be larger, what we really are going to have to look at where the concerning part of the storm is. So I know, and we're going to go back to timing real quick. I know that several people have things to do. It's one of those where you're going to have to keep your eye on the sky or on social media all day long. It's just one of those days that's going to be where you can't let your guard down. It's I'm going to see real quick. Oh, this is only 24. Yeah, this is only 24 hours right now, because I was going to drop to the last hours model to see. It's not going to let me. But I'm going to look. Well, I'm going to show you all the. No, I'm not going to do the model, because that model tends to enhance things, and that might. Here's the another model is the NAM. So let's see what that one does. I tend to do the her model or the HRRR model more than I do any others. This one even has where there's no storms at 11. And then you have like little pop ups at 2. And then you have that one big line coming in right at 8. So you see how timing right now is so all over the place, as well as what is the atmosphere going to do? What are the storms going to do? Because this model right here, with it just being that main line will be could have some spin up tornadoes, and that's what I would be more concerned with, is along with damaging winds. So I don't know which one you would rather have, because that one doesn't look as bad with that just one line. But let's go back real quick to the her model, and I'm going to show you all. Let's go. I'm going to go to surface base and see, because this kind of will tell you real quick if, oh, I don't, there, let's go back to 0, 0. See, so the timing is 10. So here comes that first one. It's going, there we go. So the first line is going to have 1600. So that's still pretty high, but not too high. And then let's see if it will tell me. Come on. Oh, it's not going to tell me what the time is. Come on. There we go. There's the 1 p.m. So that's still the first one. And then here comes the second one, which will start about 6. So it looks like it heats a little back, a little bit up. Not much, but still decent enough. So with that in mind, I really don't think our atmosphere is going to have time. I mean, it heats up a little bit, but not as quickly as I think we would need to have a big tornado outbreak. Let me see if I'm going to go real quick and see. We'll see the significant. See, with that right there, of course, that's the main line coming in too. But you don't see. I hope it's not. See, here's that first line coming in, and that's not much with significant tornado. But then you see that right there. That's one we will have to definitely watch. But again, with these weather models, it's showing what could happen, not what will happen, because things will change. All right, I am gonna go ahead and send y'all's questions. I'm gonna see what questions we need. Oh, so I already did the hatchet area. The big question everybody wants to know, right? What is my number on the concernometer? Actually, whew, the concernometer. I can't decide if I want to do that one or the oh crap meter, because those are the top two names. But I I really kind of like the concernometer. I'm still working on that kind of graphic thing, so if y'all have any help with that, send it my way, because I'm trying to write a computer program on it popping out. But my concernometer, my gut says 5. And it is out of 10. Don't worry, it's not 5 out of 5. The range of the concernometer will be 0 to 10. That's what it always will be. So, right now, I will be at a 5. And the reason why it is a 5 is because I feel like the tornado threat is a little bit higher than it was before. Even though it was only a 10%, when the last time was a 15%, something in my gut is telling me to keep it at 5 right now. And let's see. Will I be live? Yes, I'll be live. I can't decide if I want to leave one computer running with just a live radar all day long. I don't know if my old computer will allow me to do that. And then when a warning is issued, I will jump in, break in, do a live stream thing. We'll have to see if my old computer, because I have 2 regular laptops and then a couple of screens, and I have to do stuff on my laptop anyways with work. So main thing is if there's a severe thunderstorm warning or tornado warning, I will definitely be live for that. I'm gonna see if it will let me go back. But let's see. If you had to drive from Hendersonville to Nashville tomorrow, what time would you do it? Oh, I think you're asking about that concert. That's the thing. What time does the concert start? Well, or supposed to start? Isn't it typically like 6 or 7? That's ugh. With the timing that's being shown. I don't know if I'm gonna get the latest. Hmm. This is the newest run coming out right now, and that says the first round is coming in at 11. And it actually is pushing that line more north. We will get something, I believe, but I don't know. So there's 2 p.m. and it's showing already pop ups in West Tennessee and nothing. But once again, this is just another run. It runs every hour update. So this could just be a regular run and the next run be something that we want to see. Let me go back to the 001, which does more hour. The hour, once again, the hourly ones only do 18 hours in advance, whereas 00Z, 06Z, 12Z, 18Z do 40 something. The concert starts at 7. Okay. Starts at 7. I don't think it will start on time. There's no way. But they do have very safe plans, and I believe they have a really good storm shelter there. So you'll be safe there no matter what. So they'll get you under. But let's see. See, that's 5. If it starts at 7, I would I would hit because that's 6 o'clock right there. I'm thinking 4. Uh, Or if you're wanting to get dinner before the concert, I would do 3 because 3 looks like the first round will be out. And if anyone has to get out and go and do stuff tomorrow, 3, let's see, yeah, about 3 to 5 is when I feel like should be able to go and do stuff. But with that latest, with the 01 run going, it looked like you had more time because I want everyone home and where they need to be by 5 o'clock because we'll be watching these pop up showers right here. And with how quick these storms are going to be, they're going to go. That's why I really think it's going to be more of a damaging wind threat. And some of these winds, I'm surprised we're not in the Hatchet area for damaging winds, which probably would change with an update, which the Storm Prediction Center will have an update, which it'll be dropped to day 1. That will be probably about 1 a.m. in the morning. Of course, I'll be up, I will look at it, and then I'll post something on it and then head to bed because tomorrow's going to be one of those all day on the computer. I'm going to have to drink me a ton of water because my voice probably will go out later tomorrow afternoon. So, all right. Is there any other questions before I get off? I'll try and update my concernometer. Um, I'm, I know I will get a ton of questions on the concernometer and what my concern and anxiety levels are tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be able to commit doing it updating it every hour. I guess I'm just gonna have to say if it changes, I'll let y'all know. But just keep in mind it is at a 5 right now, and if I want to drop it or up it, I'll let y'all know. do I think they'll upgrade? I think I really think I'll swap real quick and show y'all how large. My I mean, it is a pretty big area of enhance. So if they do go moderate, I would say the moderate would be, unless they increase the enhanced risk a little bit and cover all of Memphis, then the moderate risk, I believe, will probably cover or just east of Memphis, going all the way to Huntsville, and it might. Let's see if I could. I'll draw it. And look at that. The color is red, anyways. Oh, that's awful. Yeah, I'm not an art major at all. I have to say, if we had a modern, I feel like that's a little too big. Maybe cut that back. With what I'm looking at, I can see this being the moderate risk if we do that. Someone take a picture of that, and if they do it, I really need to take a screenshot of this and see if they actually do it to see if I'm right and what my gut feeling is. I told you just took a picture so I can keep that in mind and quiz myself and see if they don't. I want to know why, and if they do, I can be like, look, my gut feeling is correct. Narrow. I don't think there'll be a high risk. I don't think. No, that's moderate risk. If it is, I feel like it'll be around that area, and that's a very about 30 to 40% chance. I think maybe. Ugh. All right. What about school? Let's see. Yeah, that's another thing. I don't have any. I wish I had some control of school dismissal stuff, but right now it looks pretty wide open because that's 1, 2, and 3 o'clock is right. It'll probably be out by 2:30, so you'll probably get rained on going to get your kids, but and then 6 o'clock. Well, I'm thinking 5:30 will be right when it hits. So I think school dismissal will be fine. You'll just, while you're waiting for your kids, you'll probably have what's the ending of round one for violence. No, the one thing is, I know there are some huge tornadoes out here today and yesterday. I do not think we will have that much, or I don't think it'll be as big a risk as it is out there. From what the models are showing, the only thing I would be concerned about with tornadoes would be these little pop up storms right here before the main line, and right here's that main line. Of course, the main line could have spin ups embedded in those little areas. Do you? I think this is an outbreak. I would not a tornado outbreak. No, a severe weather outbreak. Yes, because we'll have tons of damage reports. We'll have tons of hail reports, probably out west, but we'll have more wind reports than tornado reports tomorrow. Okay, let's see. Is round two? Yes, round two is. That's right. I'm really going to go ahead and say there's 3 rounds, because right here I would count as round two, because round one is going to probably be about 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then depending on that is how round 2 and 3 act. That's why I think the strongest will be this round right here. That's right around dinner time at 6. Well, 5:30 because that's already covering. See how quick, like how quick they just pop up and are intensify? That's what I'm kind of about because I know I said the storms a couple of days ago. If they hit the atmosphere just right and their atmosphere is primed, they could go severe very quick. And see, this is 5 o'clock, 5:30. They're already in our county. So I know this says 6 o'clock, but I say 5:30 because I go more when the first part of the storm comes in. Okay. Okay. If I would wait on going to pick up the kids, I wouldn't pick them up early. I would. I really think that dismissal will be fine. Yes, about 5:30 or 6 they'll be hitting Sumner. But once again, these that's an estimation, give or take. I always like to say give or take an hour because storms, I feel like sometimes when they hit the Tennessee River, they slow down. But with how the jet stream and everything looks, they could go flying by. So it, I really think these two rounds right here are going to depend on what happens the first round, which is what I feel like. So all eyes will be on round one, which 10 to 11. I'll see what the latest runs go. Okay. Let's see if a tornado is to occur. No. Uh, if you have a basement, yes, but the crawl space, no. That I believe that's actually more dangerous. I've when I was younger, I used to think that would be the safest place too, but no, just because with how much stuff's under there, and that would not be safe. But if you have a basement, that's the best thing. If not, the most interior room. And I'll put a graphic thing that the National Weather Service shares out on best safe place to go. And I know there's a lot of people that live in mobile homes in Sumner. If you know anyone that does live in a mobile home, please, please, please tell them this is one of the days that they need to go and hang out with their friends and not be in a mobile home. Because I don't know. I know several mobile home places in Hendersonville. I don't know if they have. I know some do. Some have like a storm shelter right at like the front of the park thing, but I don't think most do. So once again, this is one of those times where if you do live in a mobile home, you need to go be with friends and get out. All right. Yes, we do want round one to bring us a lot of rain and slow down and take all the energy, which it's going to take up some energy. That's just the big question is how much is it going to eat up? And if it eats up a lot, then will our atmosphere be able to reunite, and which is what this 00 shows is. But when we looked at the cap, or not the cap, the cape and all, it looked like it tried to. So if we do get in, I'm still just looking at these, and it's all about that round one. I live on the top floor of it. Okay. If you, Alex, if you are friends with anyone that lives in the bottom floor, I would do that. I'm in the same boat as you. I actually live in an apartment and I'm on the second floor, and I don't know the people below me. They probably hate me because I walk around too heavy. But I I tend to I have a there's I have like a little closet that is actually under the steps of the person above me, and it's actually the most interior wall. So that's where I go. But if you know the people below you, and I would do it. The thing is also with how quick, if these storms go as how quick we think they're going to go, warning time is going to be not warning time is not going to be as, but we're going to try. That's why the warnings are going to be so large, is to give y'all more warning time. But with how quick, it's going to be where you need to know where you're going. You need to know where you're going by tonight. You need to know, or very early in the morning. You are going to have to know your safe plans. You're going to have to know what to do, because when the warnings issue, it's going to be quick, which is why I think a chance of a strong tornado is not really high. The quick spin ups are probably going to be, if we do get any, that's what it's going to be, those quick EF0, EF1. Even though there is a 10% chance of a higher tornado, I think that chance is more over here, like Clarksville, Dixon area, Hole and Wall, Savannah area. You do have it. Okay. Also, Alex, if you might want to ask your, I know I've talked to several people with that live in apartments. Ask if the leasing office will allow you to come in, and because that would be safer than the second floor or third floor. Because I know some leasing offices allow people to come in. Let's see, I'm gonna check real quick if there's any more questions. I think I answered everybody's question. If I didn't, I am sorry. The little chat box thing has it where, because I'm doing streaming through Facebook, YouTube, and X. So I'm doing multi streams. So just want to make sure I got everybody's, or if anyone has any last minute questions, please shoot them in. Also, I know I keep saying this is one of those days you're going to have to be weather aware all day long. So be sure to share out. Um, I'm just going to see if I can bring it back up, but I'll put all my social media account names and links and all. And this is going to be one where you want to share it with all your friends, family that live in Sumner, of course, other counties too. I'll put all the other T Spotter social media handles and stuff like that on there too, so y'all can share that out and let. See, my family lives in Rutherford County, Murfreesboro, so of course they're all out of town at the beach, so I'm stuck here. So I'm jealous with them, but hey, I get to do what I love, and that's weather. So, but once again, it's one of those where you are going to want to share on Facebook, like HIP Hendersonville, HIP Portland, all those different Facebook pages. You're going to want to get the word out, because it's going to be a, several rounds nonstop day. So, all right. What time are the threats? Okay. I'll go through one last time for everyone on which each hour. Okay, let's back it up. All right, this is 7 a.m. Up here is the time. So, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. And this is another thing is, a lot of people don't know where they are. So I tried to make the county lines a little thicker. But here's Sumner. Of course, there's Robertson, Davison, Williamson County, Montgomery County. So I'm also going to put a picture of like all the counties in Middle Tennessee so you can find yourself on the map, because that's another way to help storm anxiety is know where you are on the map. And this is us right here. So once again, 8 a.m., 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and 11 a.m. So about 10:30 is right when it's going to be breaking down the doors of Sumner. So this is round one. Main threat with this would be damaging winds and small hail. Then you have these little stragglers going on that we want to keep hanging around. That we want them to eat up all the energy. Because then you have this period of nothing. And then here's 5 p.m. 6 p.m. is when probably I would say the most dangerous round is if we get these pop up storms before. Here's the main line right here. That's in Clarksville area. That's the main line, the main event. But if we get these up here, that's not what we want. So, and this will carry the threat of tornadoes. All will carry the threat of tornadoes, but this round right here would be probably the main tornadic storms because they're supercells. I mean, you can even see that little shape that some of them are taking. All right, and then here's the main event coming in right at 7. So once again, first round 10 to 11 through 2 p.m. Second round individual supercells about 6 p.m. And then main round 7 p.m. out by 8:30. All right. If anyone else has any questions, I think I got them all. I am going to log off and start getting ready for bed because it's going to be a long day tomorrow. So please, 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 once again, the weather radios are going to be out and they won't be active until late Wednesday, probably. So please have different ways of getting alerts, which I'll post that again a couple ways, which I also need to put in the chat to see if any of the other apps are going to be affected as well. But main way to get stuff is social media and your TV meteorologist. That's going to be the big place to get your alerts. And also that website I shared on all the social media places earlier today, that website where you can sign up and it's the Code Red Alerts. And I tell you, they do call and it gets annoying because I'm like, yeah, I know there's a warning. I've been watching it. All right. I know several people were asking if I was going to do this live. I really think I'm going to start making this a thing where if we do have any severe weather threats, mainly like storms, I will always do like a Q&A because I want y'all to be prepared. I want y'all to ask the questions. I mean, storm anxiety is a huge thing. I know with talking to the community, talking to everyone, well, not everyone, but most people in Sumner, what's the thing y'all worry about the most? And a lot of it's like the storm anxiety just from past events. So I want to be that person that y'all come to calm y'all down because I know what it means to have storm anxiety. I had it and I still do just a little bit. Don't tell anyone, but I still do. But all right. So I hope you all have a good rest of y'all's night. Get some sleep. Tomorrow is going to be crazy, but hey, we'll get through it. Like I said before, we're always going to get through it no matter what. We've had several tornadoes in the past and we have gotten through them. So we will get through this like we always have. We're a strong community. We will get through it once again. All right. Hope y'all have a good rest of y'all's night. Get some sleep. I will talk to y'all tomorrow.